For years, I have been looking for the perfect outdoor lighting solution for our home. All I ever wanted was to have spotlights on the front of our home, which I will go and show you in just a second. And I have tried everything from solar powered options to plug in options, none of which have met my needs. But today I think I've found what's actually going to work for us. It's these garden lights from Gardenreet. These are high-powered garden lights. Um, they are solid brass, perfect for landscaping, so that they're heavy duty and they will stand up to the elements. Rain will do nothing to these babies. So we have four of these lights, and I just want to show you really quickly what they look like. Open this up. And first of all, this is the top of the light. This thing is heavy. Let me open up and give you a look at these. You can see each light comes with a very long, actually, wire. It rotates. There's a little button here that you can use to rotate, and once you get it to where you like it, you just tighten that down. It no longer moves. This is the glass covering that's within the brass housing. Glass covering within the brass housing. Here is the light bulb. This is an LED light bulb, which means it's gonna last a good long time. You just snap in the light bulb here and screw back on the housing with the lens on it. Super simple. And then once I'm ready to install this, I will unwrap the wire. That's a nice long wire. So you see, I just threaded that through my stake. There's a hole in the stake on both sides, like that. So I just threaded the wire through that hole, whichever side I wanted it on. And then I just screw that on. And like I said before, I can just rotate it however I want it to go. I can turn this 360 degrees. You see that? That's 180. And just keep turning it until I get the spotlight exactly where I want it. Mine are going to be pretty straightforward. They're going to be pointed up towards my home, up some columns. In addition to the very long wiring that's already attached to each light, we have additional low voltage cabling, so that depending on how far apart you want your lighting, you can just attach the end of the wire from the actual lamp to whatever length of this wire you need. Once it's all done, you have a transformer. This is a low voltage transformer, perfect for lights of this type. This plugs into my power outlet. It's waterproof, so that power outlet can be anywhere you want it to be. And then you can control your lights directly through this transformer. I love the fact that you can have this come on at dusk and set a certain time period for it to go off. So let's go outside and see how this is going to all come together. Let's start with the easy part first. I'm setting up my transformer on my covered front porch where there's a covered GFCI outlet. Working with one end of the main cable, I split the two sides and stripped the plastic insulation to reveal the wires inside. This took a bit of careful elbow grease, and for me, it's probably a little easier to do this with scissors than with this wire cutter and stripper. Loosen the screws holding the plates down on the transformer and place one twisted wire under each plate, positive and negative, and then tighten the screws back down. This process is pretty straightforward since the positive and negative terminals are very clearly marked. Honestly, the hardest part of this whole installation was deciding on the layout and leaving enough slack in the main cable to add or remove lights whenever I want. Just finishing up. Next up, we're going to plug in the transformer to test it. Fingers crossed. We're looking for a green indicator light. Once we have that, we can turn it on by pressing the mode button and a blue light indicating that it's on. Press the mode button again for the photo cell option, which turns the light on at dark. And then you can use the timer button to set the number of hours you want the lights to remain on. Let's configure the lights next. Here is my cable that I want to attach my light to. Here is the end of the cable that is already attached to my light. All right, so this is the light cable. This is the main cable. Here are my connectors. So let me see if I can show you this really quickly. The very first thing we need to do is to unscrew both ends of the connector to reveal the metal inside. On one end, there's a pin that's going to pierce the main cable. The other end is just open for us to thread through the cable from the lamp itself. Split the main cable in half. Be very, very careful here not to actually cut straight through it. Then we're going to take the open end of the connector and slide it up over the cable. We're going to take the pin end of the connector and screw it down into that opening so that it pierces the main cable. You might have to adjust it a little bit, but once you get into a rhythm, it goes pretty quickly. So there I have that screwed in all the way down. Now I'm just going to remove the plastic insulation from the end of the wire on the lamp. I'm going to split this cable a little bit as well, just to make it easier to work with. And then I'm just going to twist the wires so that they're all going to stay together easily for me. Now I'm just going to thread it through that small top part of the connector, and then I'm going to attach that to the top open end of the connector that is already attached to the main. Let's see that again. Slide the main cable up into the large open end of the connector, pierce it with the pin end of the connector, thread the wire through the top smaller end, and screw that into the middle part of the connector. And now I'm done with that part. Just going to give it a little tug to make sure it's nice and secure and test it out. Make sure the light is working. Look at how bright this light is, you guys. This is in the daytime. I'm just testing things out. Even during the day, these lights look great shining up on our home. Of course, you know I was going to give you a discount code. Use my discount code to get 10% off at gardenreet.com. I'll leave the link and the discount code in the description below. Take a look at it at night. Thanks for watching.